put another couple door trims on. It's the left back door. They look nice. They really do look like the XR6 versions. It's very similar patterns, if not the same. But yeah, they look great. What a difference. I was just looking at what else I have to take off to get this console out. But it looks like someone's already been at it and not put bolts back. This is the same on both sides. Bit slack. Anyway, got the console out. Bit messy under there. Excuse me. When I put it back in, I'll show you that, and then you can just reverse the procedure if you need to get it out. But yeah, this is the last bit of the carpet to come out and clean up. So getting that out, I don't think I'm putting that other console. I had a few cracks in it and stuff like that. I want to get the original bolts that go with it, and I'll try and get a dark console so it sort of matches this part but has like that two-tone effect like I did in the FG Ute. So get this carpet out now. Okay, so got that piece of carpet out. It's like brand new underneath, so this will just need a nice vacuum and get a little bit more of a BF Ford underbody under all the cosmetics. So with that other loom that I've made to do the power windows at the back, now I can just put that with the other loom, make it nice and neat, go over the original loom there, follow it around, and that'll be part of its new loom system. So these door cards look so much better. I got it. What I didn't show yesterday is the door cards they're a bit weak up the top, and so when you're moving it, it was loose up the top, so they must have broken on both passenger and driver's door front. So I'm gonna have to get a couple of those and see what I can do to get better ones, and then take the door cards off. And I need another door handle for that side. But the back ones were really good, but probably maybe more use, obviously front and back doors, that they get a bit weak over time. So yeah, as I said in the previous video, this is really good condition. I'll just clean this up and yeah, go from there. Okay, what I'm doing prior to putting the carpet in and furniture is I'm going to run a video wire with, it's got the battery. It's funny how they made it blue. Yeah, I'm going to run that so I don't have to pull out all the trim later on, just in case I will most likely put a reverse camera in it. So I'll run these wires first, and then I'll look for a reverse camera later on. So yeah, it's carpet fitting day. Now I'm still waiting for the insulation to come for the back, but the problem is with these carpets, beautifully made, really, it's nice, thick and plush. Problem is they don't come, they come with the cutting size, like of what the shape and size of the car is, but no holes in the middle. So I want to try and get this side of the carpet as where it's supposed to be as much as possible, because if you off center that, it's gonna, no, I mean it'll be under the console, but try to get this as even as possible prior, but it's going to be a bit of mucking around. There you got all that. Looks nice with the grey, very nice, beautiful carpet, compliment to the car. So yeah, I'm happy with the carpet. Just going to be a bit of mucking around, cutting that all and getting that ready for shaping. I end up cutting the carpet in half, but that's probably the best choice anyway, because a lot of this is going in too far, so it needs a lot more trimming anyway. But for the most part, it's hard to see there. It's looks nice. I'll go to the other side for a sec. Okay, so on the other side, obviously it gets held up by the bolts that I've left in there, but it's getting late at night, so and there's no more daylight saving at the moment, so light is fading. But yeah, I just got to neaten this up around the edges, just so it has a bit of tuck inside when the console goes down, but doesn't have to go that far in. But it's good to have excess carpet rather than too small, but it looks grouse. And the good thing is it poured rain the other night, and it was a good test having the doors closed and seeing the whole floor pan, and not one bit got wet, and it really came down. So that's a good test for rain as well, because you don't want your nice new carpet getting stinky when mouldy. So if you look here, looks nice, very good. So for this side of the carpet, that's all I had to cut off on that section, from cutting it right in half and then just shaping it around the edging, so it meets pretty much the center anyway. You just gotta watch these parts in here. You want to have the carpet just slightly away from it, and the console will hold that all down. That looks good. It's going to do the job. I'll show you the other side. I also cut just a small bit of carpet, like not a big hole, but a little bit of square off it. So that actually, it's good to probably, this is what I did, just cut the hole for this, and then that actually keeps this from moving when you get it in position, and then you can concentrate on doing the trim on that side. I'll go to the other side. Now this side took a bit more cutting. Did the same thing, of course, with the bolt. Do that first, keeps that in position. Now, practically just, if I pull that out, it's just trimmed to how that will sit. I pretty much followed a lot of this, the original underlay. Made sure there was a big gap there, because this thing I think moves, but I just didn't want to get in the way of any mechanical items. So I trimmed pretty much just where the insulation went, and then most of this part, the parts of the plastic, will keep that in place, and then just around the gearbox area, and that all sits nice. And this was the only scrap I had, so that was wasn't as bad as what I thought, trying to get that into position. So looks nice, very nice. So next I'm going to clean up that console and stick it over the top. The console I got for the Bear, for black one. This came out of a silver XR6. It looks, it's not in bad nick. I've got to clean all these edges, but for the most part it's not too bad. So I want to take this off actually, I think, and paint that as well. But anyway, there's a black console. Bad, the old easy off, bam. I've only done like a small section. See all the crap you can get off it. You can see how much crap they go through in their lifetime. Probably didn't also help being at a wreckers, but it can bring things up back to practically new. Original sticker. Start seeing all its codes. Go around this way. Around a bit more. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing, just getting rid of all this filth, because you don't want to stick filthy parts on a nice clean brand new carpet as well. You want to get them looking like factory if possible. So I'll clean this up and I'll come back. So we got the console pretty good as far as clean. A lot nicer than it was. I've got to use the vacuum to get right into the carpety area. But I've got all the sides done. But she's come up really well. And that's just really the shell of it. Okay, let's keep going. So I've got the console just sitting in there at the moment, just seeing how she looks and how it sits and how it's come up. The other thing I do once it's clean is I use some of this new car spray smell cologne stuff, and I just after the more harder cleaner, I then give that a spray and a bit of a wipe over, and it gives that like a, obviously it's a new car smell, but that one, but it yeah, just gives it a bit of a fresh smell on the plastic. So that's just a small tip if you ever are doing consoles and parts of the cars, just, and on, you know, like these fabric areas and stuff like that hold the cologne, so it's good to spray those up as well for that fresh smell. But that's come up really well. The middle auto box top, cleaned that right up. Alright, good news today, the insulation came. I'm thinking of going into the FG XR6 and just ripping out the original insulation off the floor to put it down there, and just using this for the roof. So I'm going to stick this up. This is like a sticky solution on one side, and I'm going to throw it up on this blank canvas. So here we go. Okay, so that's just one half of the roof done with the insulation. It's good stuff, that sticks up very well. So this is probably why, part of the reason why insulations help with your roof lining, because imagine that getting so hot and then that heat going straight to your roof lining and melting your glue, and then your roof lining starting to sag. So hopefully this roof lining has a bit longer life, having a bit of insulation between the roof metal and getting less heat through the insulation. So yeah, so there's the back window. And then obviously roof without the insulation. So yeah, this should help a lot. Okay, got another upgrade. These were on the BF. It's all faded. Open mirror, there's stains and a bit of damage. These are a bit filthy. Big stain there. And these ones, these came out of like I think a gear. These have got like more of a furry carpety feel, where these are more vinyl. And they got the two covers, slide covers for the mirrors, and in very good condition. So these, and they got these labels as well. They're going to replace these ones. As you can see, it's got those sun visors in and the roof lining. I've ordered an LED globe for that one. Got a couple of the smaller LEDs off the XR6, if you've seen in previous videos when I did the light, so put them in that. But she looks very nice, and no sagging roof line. It's all got the insulation on the other side. What a difference. Okay, so I've put the video reverse wire up into there, just ran it underneath there and comes out underneath there and back on the wire loom. I normally get Nitto tape. I've got this is it Dita tape. This stuff is crap. I'm not recommending this stuff. When I do tape, it seems to peel off a lot, so I'll be definitely sticking to Nitto tape next time. It's bad when you get inferior products. Nitto tape is brilliant. But anyway, here's another tip. Okay, this black console, I got out the wreckers from the XR6. As you see it, minus the 2 silver bolts or screws I put in both sides. They didn't. This car didn't have them when I grabbed it off the other console. Anyway, as you see it now, if I take out the 2 silver bolts, this whole thing, as is, comes out. So all the sides, all around the black, and the other side, that's how it came out when I got it out the wreckers. The only 2 bolts I've put in it so far are those 2. But, hence saying that, we've got a lot of screws to put in. So we've got a bolt in there, there's a little screw in there, there's another one there, I think there's another one, is it there? There's definitely another one there, and obviously the ones that screw onto this auto box, there's a fair bit of screws. Just be mindful when you're taking the screws out, put them all in like a jar, and you should be fine. And just even take photos when you're removing it. That way you can put it back together as is. I took the lid off just to do a couple things, as well as paint the back air vent, but the back part pretty much just clips out. So they're not a huge deal. You just got to just go as you can and take your time. Most of the front glass area is clipping out, but I'm going to show each part anyway as I go, what screws I put in, etc, etc. So it's good to have those 2 screws down the bottom. Still got to tuck all the carpet up, and yeah, we're all good. Well, it looks good. Now it's raining outside. At least I can do a bit of work on the inside of this. And I've put all the center trim, been cleaning as I go as well underneath. It's really taken off to like a 2-tone effect. I put a black XR6, or it came out of XR6, they're all the same. Put a black glove box and then took off the original more cream key lock thing. They're very easy, only 2 screws behind it, and put that on. So it's definitely taking shape. One thing I forgot, there is another trim under there that I still got to paint. But yeah, it's looking great. Yeah, prior to these 2 bolts, which are these sort, prior to those, now this console had a broken side lug, but I'll see if I can zoom in. If you look here, see if we can zoom in a little bit, or light it up a bit more. They're just a push lug to one side, and they unclip. So this one's, where are we? Come on, light it up. This one's broken on one side, but hence saying that. So with a flat nose screwdriver, you pretty much just pull it to the side like that, both sides, and then they unclip, and then you obviously got your 2 bolts. Now on the console, this is your gold one, your gold placements. So you got the big hex, Phillips, another gold hex, and another gold hex. That's so far. So after unclipping, doing that, I mean, they all have to come off anyway. So, and all these ones are underneath all your trims. So these are the bolts that you must remove so far. Next, I'm going to put the handbrake cover. They're pretty easy. I just pretty much slide just back onto that. Make sure she's nice and firm in there, and then you just push it in on the edges in there and clip her in. Okay, next is a couple of these self-tapping small screws. I put them just on the corner there, and then another one on this side. And what I also did is just drill a small hole here to run my extra illumination extension wires that you might have seen on the previous video. Don't know where I'm going to put them yet, so I'm just getting them out the way. And because this box slides in the top, I have to get those wires out the way. So I'm going to put the, what am I going to do next? I'll have a look, one sec. My bad. I've got to put these longer ones in these gold ones first. You have to sort of squash it down and get that hole going down there. Okay, you got those two long ones in place, just there, and now I'll put those smaller ones in and bring that trim in on that side and that side. Coming together. Okay, so the bolts you need, or for your memory video anyway, these are the ones, the gold ones that go around the actual auto box. They're a nice long, not self-tapper, just the thread style screw. Make sure you get this trim, it's got like a groove, you've got to get that up prior to doing anything along here. So then you just got the real small tappers like these ones. This one's a bit more of a chunky screw, more like that, like a self-tapper. There and there, and these again are those real small ones which are like that, and on the other side. Now at the moment I'm still got to put the ICC bolt down there, and there and there. I've already done the screw up the top, which is behind that cover. Don't forget, it's a good idea to take off those yellow clips off the top. You can't get it out. Oh, you can get it out, but it's not going to move, it's not going to vibrate. And it's a lot easier on those covers to remove, rather than those really hard clips that make them not for the sort of plastic that they're made of, not very strong, and they only get weaker over time. So yeah, next I'm going to throw this box in. First connect your cigarette lighter, or just a lighter in general, and now I've got a globe in it. You can put a globe in where it's supposed to be. So put that next, and then all we have to do is slide that in, and it slides over this top edge. Let's stick her in. That covers in now with my extension illuminating light, and I've got my video cable ready to run for later on for a reverse camera, and put the screws up the top like there and there, and that cover is in. Still doing the console. I got a couple more parts painted, and I had forgotten about that real little one that's there, so I painted that up to match the other air vent. But now it's all in unison, all the same colour. So I'm going to put that on. It's got the two little screws. This one's pretty explanatory. It's got the two clips down the bottom, and we'll just cruise in there. For those two clips, there should be some grooves somewhere just here. There's those grooves. Must be down the very bottom. It'll clip in there. So do that next. That's how that sits. So now you just got those two little screws around those sides. Just stick in there. The condition of this console lid, if you look really close, you can see, like, you know, when you put your arm in there, that's where a lot of the wear and tear goes. I'll still look for another one. No rush. This console lid is actually quite, sometimes they bow, and that's why I even changed this one for the from the, no, this was the original one, sorry. This was the original one, but I changed to the black background instead of the grey, so I swapped the lid because it was better than the XR6 one that had a bow in it. Now the other thing is, you spray some of this stuff on, even though she looks pretty clean. This stuff is really, really good. This BAM stuff. So if I get some paper toweling, that's already one side I've already done. I see they're nice and clean. Because imagine, like, 15 years, if this is the original console lid, all the stuff that's coming off it. Remember, on a hot and you're sweaty and all that sort of stuff, all that is just built up with years and years and years. And give or take what some people do for work, they could be very dirty driving home. Yes. I'll give it another round. And then nice and clean. Oh. Years and years of build up. Now I'll do this about 5 or 6 times. Seems a bit much, but if you want them as clean as possible, it's good with the events. That's what you got to do. Other than that, that console lid is on. Okay, with my illumination light or extension wire sitting through there, on there, it's very loose. Look, there's no tension on it. It can pretty much cruise along the top of sort of like an air vent pipe on top, for the heating, I guess, or cooling, and it just slides right through there. So I can extend it even if I really want to extend it even more, or where I want to put it, but that's come all the way through that edge there. So I'm going to work out what I want to do with that in a second. And next I'm just going to stick one on the side trims. These are very easy. Obviously if you pulled it apart you should know that they're pretty simple to put back in. They pretty much just fall off like that. So they go up on the edge behind like that, and then there's like little lugs that they have on them. They just make sure it's in the lug there and push down, and then they've got another screw, and you do that for both sides. So that's looking good. That two-tone effect again. So I'll put the other one on as well. Okay, so both covers are on. I just used the two. I can't exactly 100% remember exactly every screw, but I just used the two small ones again. These style. Oh, sorry, not that one. That style. And they sit in one. The main thing with screws, minus what they used originally, is the main thing is that it doesn't get in the way of other things and that it secures what it needs to secure. That's all they're for, mainly. I mean, you wouldn't want to put a little screw like that when they've put big bolts, of course, but for small little stuff like that, if they used a slightly bigger one, it's not going to come out. That's the main thing about securing or fastening screws and bolts. So yeah. Okay, so next I'm putting this one in. They've got all the little tabs on them with those yellow lock-in plastic bits. This is pretty easy. I should all clip in. Feels all good. How nice is that? That looks really nice and good. So pretty much I'm going to extend those wires again, but pretty much all you got left is these two that will just sit in there like that. I'm not going to squash it down, but yeah, there's your console. Yeah, so there's my video reverse camera wire there sitting there. It's all done there with the ICC. Still got to do a couple more things on forescan and just get that fan blower going. Must be because there's not a problem with my actual fan. It's something to do with the connection within its drivers or codes and stuff. So that's in. Looks good with the ICC cover. Just remember, it's good to leave those yellow lockdown tab things that they stick on them, so you don't have a crap time getting them out. And again, they will stay in there. You won't have to worry about that.